What's good, people? It is Tony The Savant back again. And if y'all don't mind, before we get started, please like this video, comment on this video, share this video, as well as hit the notification bell so you can be notified when I'm dropping content and going live on the channel. A little bit of help, those little acts does a big help for the channel, and I definitely can't say thank you all enough. Greatly appreciated. And let's get to work. As it has been reported that Dan Hurley of the UCONN Huskies, two-time current defending champions, UConn men's program, has turned down the Los Angeles Lakers head coach job. Now, this news has kind of broken the airways, and as has been reported, all of the LeBron James fanboys are somewhat embarrassed. They're somewhat shocked that someone would turn down an opportunity to work with their king. But y'all forgive me, man. I was on a little vacation. So when this first all came out, I didn't make a video on it, but I wanted to chime in and just offer my opinion. I knew that Dan Hurley would not take this job. Dan Hurley has a great thing going at UConn. UConn just came off a championship run and has the opportunity to three-peat right now, something we haven't seen in 50 years. I believe John Wooden was the last coach to do it. In addition to that, UConn is probably, you can argue with a couple other jobs, but UConn men's basketball head coaching job is probably just as prestigious right now as the Los Angeles Lakers head coaching job, as the Lakers have become a bit of a shell of themselves. As we have all known the Lakers to be a championship precedented, team, organization, they've had the superstars to match the glitz and the glamour. And so seeing what the Lakers have become these past few years has been a circus, a bit of embarrassment, again, from what we are accustomed to the Lakers to being. You can't blame anybody other than LeBron James for that. If he's supposed to be the quote-unquote GOAT, quote-unquote face of the league, quote-unquote best player ever, and, all things considered, the demise of the Lakers has happened on his watch. There's no other person to blame for this. The media, his minions in the media have done their jobs, I guess you could say, in trying to deflect the blame from LeBron James. But it's the writings on the wall, and the Bronsexuals are the only people who deem LeBron James' time in LA somewhat of a success. And they always point to the bubble ring for whatever reason. and that's just it. LeBron James has not maintained that level of championship, cachet that the Lakers have been accustomed to since the days of George Mikan. We can go all the way back to the George Mikan days as far as a superstar being in the purple and gold and keeping the Los Angeles Lakers in championship contention. Well, that's not been LeBron James, and I'm positively sure that Dan Hurley turning down this job was directly related to how the Los Angeles Lakers treated Darvin Ham. It's one thing to say of Frank Vogel, Mike Brown, Luke Walton, all these other coaches that the Lakers have had since LeBron James has been there, and I'm not even sure if Mike Brown was in that. I think Mike Brown was with Kobe. But in the same breath, all of these coaches that have come and gone for the Lakers these past few years, I'm positively sure Dan Hurley wanted no parts of the Los Angeles Lakers circus. Because at the end of the day, you're talking about a championship, a coach that won a championship, and Frank Vogel. You're talking about another coach who was relatively successful in his short tenure there in Darvin Ham. And both these guys were met with pink slips, very, very ruthlessly, if you would add. You know what I mean? I don't think Frank Vogel was shown the proper respect, nor was Darvin Ham. Nor were they given an opportunity to build on the success that they was able to uh, experience as the Los Angeles Lakers head coaches. It seems like as soon as things start going wrong, according to the Bron sexuals and Clutch Sports and LeBron, those guys were the first dudes to be blamed for everything, and they were the first ones to receive punishment and deal with the consequences of the Lakers losing. So I'm positively sure Dan Hurley did his research, calling around the coaching world. Um, because as far as I know, I've heard many stories of these coaches, NBA, NFL, college, all of that. They all talk to each other. They're all within a network with one another. So I'm sure Dan Hurley did his research. If he didn't call Darvin Ham himself, and get the news. Um, but it's just kind of embarrassing, because where do the Lakers go from here? It was reported that Dan Hurley turned down a 6-year, $70 million contract. When all this first came out, it was reported that he would receive upwards of $100 million contract, which is mighty close. Um, in addition, what else? What else? I'm trying to go off the report. I believe that was it. But I just had to kind of chime in with my suspicions. I believe that the Lakers probably told Dan Hurley that, we'll hire you, but you got to have J.J. Redick and Rajon Rondo, all these characters, all of these characters on your coaching staff. And I'm sure Dan Hurley said, he met that with a proper, a rejection. But I just don't think there's anyone else to blame in this situation, man. A lot of people are going at Rob Pelinka and Jeannie Buss. They're not the ones that play the games, It seems to me like, especially the LeBron James coach, it seems to me like everybody wants to talk about everything else except the primary problem. And the primary problem for the Lakers right now is that they roster a 39-year-old man well past his prime in the Western Conference of each conference to be in. LeBron James is in the most competitive conference, a conference that we're seeing right now being dominated by the younger talent. These guys are finally entering their primes and on their come-ups. And, for a guy like Dan Hurley, who's coaching young talent and understands what it takes to win at the highest level, as far as his profession right now anyway, he understands what it takes. I'm pretty sure he can look at the Los Angeles Lakers and tell they are not ready. And they are not ready. They won't be ready until they get rid of LeBron James and possibly even AD. Now, the Los Angeles Lakers have 3 first-round draft picks, but, depending on what the LeBron James timeline and what he wants to do this summer, it depends on what the Lakers will do with those 3 first-round draft picks. It was just in the back of my head that I'm sure Dan Hurley discussed those 3 round picks and in his head thought that he could bring in some new talent and start anew if he was to take on the Lakers head coaching job. But again, when you have a 39-year-old dinosaur and win now mode, those 3 first round draft picks are as good as collateral, and I'm sure that they'll be moved off of. I've been under the assumption that LeBron James will re-sign with the Los Angeles Lakers, as I can't see another team wanting to bring him on, given all of that given all that they'll have to give up and possibly have to go get Bronny James as well in the draft. Just so much, man. It's a lot. And I feel bad for the Lakers because, again, started this off with how prestigious and historic this franchise and this organization has been, since I've been born and long beyond, long before my days in the sports world. But now they just look like, you know, and I hate to say it, the New Orleans Pelicans, in a respectful way. We don't know. They just went for JJ Redick. They went from JJ Redick with no experience to Dan Hurley, the most prestigious men's coach, coming off 2 championships in basketball. The Lakers are all over the place. They don't seem to have a plan. They don't seem to have a vision. I think the Lakers are literally just waking up every day and whatever LeBron James wants to do that day, that's what they do, and not thinking much of the consequences behind it, But all in all, man, we will see how this turns out. As I read an article this morning, that it looks to me as if JJ Redick will be back as the lead candidate in these sweepstakes. I've been on record with saying, hey, possibly if it's possible, give JJ the job, man. Give him the job so we can see this Lakers, LeBron James Clutch Sports Mind the Game podcast. We could just see it all dissipate in real time because that's exactly what's going to happen. The moment the Lakers stop losing, or the moment the Lakers start looking bad, they're going to start blaming JJ Redick, I would imagine, unless LeBron James has a new scapegoat in the works that we are unaware of right now. But yeah, man, all in all, that's all I got for y'all on this one. Please like, subscribe, comment, hit the notification bell so you can be notified when I'm dropping content on the channel. It is your boy, Tony The Savant. Peace.